Welcome into Chic and Ball. I'm your host, Els the Truth. Thank you for tuning in and watching. On today's show, we got our mock draft 5.0, third round edition. We got a lot of underrated players on this list. We've updated our draft board with some new players. So kick back, enjoy the show. Let's look at the draft order and get our clock ready. We got 3 teams with no picks in this round, that being the Chicago Sky, Connecticut Sun, and Phoenix Mercury. Seattle Storm with 3 picks in this round, Dallas Wings with 2 picks in this round. Now let's transition and look at the updated draft board real quick. A lot of beautiful college players on this list, but as we know, everybody just can't make it into the WNBA. Especially out of the third round, these players almost got a 1 to 2% chance at making the team. But we got at least 3 to 4 new teams coming over the next few years, so if these players can keep grinding and keep getting better, it ain't no doubt that they're gonna be on one of those teams. And before we get to the first pick, if you think we forgot somebody, if you think we left somebody out, I'm gonna do an undrafted rookies podcast. So comment your favorite players. Maybe we can make it a series, because I know I got more than 10 players and y'all be bringing up some good stuff too. That being said, let's get to the first pick of the third round being made by the Seattle Storm. And with the 26th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Dominique Malonga, France. Now, I know a lot of people been upset with me because I didn't have her in my first round or second round, but I just can't lie to y'all. I'm not gonna put her in the first round if I don't feel like she got that talent. I saw this same thing happen with Bigorre. 6'6" out of Finland. Everybody thought that she was gonna be the new WNBA star, and she couldn't barely get off the bench, and she ain't never averaged more than 4 points. And the same way everybody was so high on Dominique Malonga, they was that high on Bigorre, so much so that she went number 2 in the 2021 draft. So this ain't something that happened years and years ago, this just actually happened. I'm not saying that's gonna be Dominique Malonga because I do see a lot more talent there, but she gonna have to show me before I can really give her that step. Next pick will be made by the Dallas Wings. They were actually the ones that drafted Bigorre. They also drafted 6'6" Stephanie Soares out of Brazil with a top 5 pick, who they end up cutting this offseason. Now, before I go on another roundabout international players, let's get to the pick. And with the 27th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Aaliyah Nye, Alabama. Now, I saw y'all comments. A lot of people wanted Aaliyah Nye to go in the first round or second round to one of their favorite teams, but the only reason she didn't is because she's pretty much just a 3-point specialist. She don't really got playmaking ability, and I think with WNBA defense, it might be even difficult for her to put the ball on the ground. But no doubt in my mind, Aaliyah Nye probably gonna end up being one of the best catch and shoot players in the WNBA very fast. Out of all the players being drafted in the third round, that's if Aaliyah Nye does go in the third round, she probably got the best opportunity to make the team because she gonna shoot that 3 at 45%. Next pick will be made by the Los Angeles Sparks. And personally, as a fan of the Sparks, fan of the Lakers, I just want to see stars in LA. Don't get me wrong, I am from Cleveland, but I still love LA. I still love seeing the pretty faces, the box office players. What more could you want? I know y'all want everything to be ran professionally, but sometimes you do gotta make business moves. That being said, let's get to the pick. And with the 28th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Los Angeles Sparks select Reigan Richardson, Duke. Reigan Richardson is one of those players that I think is only scratching the surface of what she can be. Duke head coach Kara Lawson, as you guys know, former WNBA player, she runs the program like a WNBA team, so Reigan Richardson don't get the minutes and she don't get the shots that she probably would be getting if she was on a different team. So I think she's a whole lot better than what her stats say, because right now she only averaging 10 points. But I think if she can get into the right program with some coaches to back her up, I think she could develop into a contributor. But even if it don't work out, at least you got to face for LA. Go and get yourself some brand deals out there. Next pick will be made by the Seattle Storm, and they already got a pretty good roster, so good luck to the rookies who get drafted here. That being said, let's get to the pick. And with the 29th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Makayla Timpson, Florida State. Makayla Timpson is a player that's extremely underrated. Standing at 6'2", she's improved every year she's been at Florida State to the point where she's now averaging career highs in her senior season at 17.5 points and 3 blocks per game. And I know a lot of people wondering, based on her pure talent, athleticism, why she not going up higher? And the reason for that, in my opinion, is because Florida State just hasn't produced many good pros. They've only had 2 players drafted that's played more than 1 season, that being Renika Hodges and Natasha Howard. We know what Ta'Niya Lasson's gonna be, the leader of the team. We just gotta wait and see with Makayla Timpson. Next pick will be made by the Golden State Valkyries. We all know these 2 players will be on this team, Kate Martin and Monique Billings. Now let's see what we got here at pick number 30. And with the 30th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Golden State Valkyries select Liatu King, Notre Dame. Liatu King is actually a really good player. She's proven that she will play better when she got better players around her. She played her first 4 years of college with the Pitt Panthers before she transferred over to Notre Dame. The best part about her game is the way that she rebounds the basketball. And from what I've seen, rebounding always translates to the next level. She's also a mid-range assassin. She's only taken 2 3-pointers in more than 135 games. And I know a lot of y'all think everybody's supposed to be a shooter, but trust me, it's a lot of WNBA players that can't shoot for shit. Next pick will be made by the Dallas Wings. Arike Ogunbowale has been asking for help for a long time. She finally got some, but she got some more help coming here. Let's get to it. And with the 31st pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Dallas Wings select Alexis Markowski, Nebraska. A-Mac, as I call her, has been a really nice player for Nebraska over the last 4 seasons. Where she gets slighted is because she's only 6'2", she's real thick, but she's a tweener. With her build, you would think you would have to play her at the 5, but with her being 6'2", you can really only put her at the 4. And at the next level, all bigs are at least 6'4" and up. The best part of her game is the fact that she can be a stretch 4. If she can turn herself to a real spot-up catch and shoot player, then I can see her maxing out at maybe like a Stephanie Dawson. Next pick will be made by the Washington Mystics. They've actually drafted pretty well over the last couple years, they just need to stay healthy. Now let's get to the pick. And with the 32nd pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Washington Mystics select Madison Conner, Texas Christian University. Madison Conner was on my 2nd round mock draft that dropped last year, January 10th in 2024. So she been on my radar for a long time, and that was well before Haley Van Lith joined the team. She's 5'11", she got a really nice ability to play make, and in her senior year, she's shooting the 3 ball at 45%. She, like Aaliyah Nye, I think can be one of the best catch and shoot players in the WNBA. Over the last 5 years, 3 with Arizona, 2 with TCU, she's consistently gotten better every year, and we can only hope that continues. Next pick will be made by the Indiana Fever. At this point in the draft, I don't think they need to reach. Just go ahead and get a player that can run with Caitlin Clark and let the chips fall where they may. That being said, let's get to the pick. And with the 33rd pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Indiana Fever select Natalija Marshall, Miami, Florida. A lot of y'all may remember Nat because she played on Notre Dame the last 3 seasons, and I was really upset that she didn't stay there this year and get the chance to play with Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles. I think that would have did a lot for her draft stock. But she went to the Miami Hurricanes, she got a chance to start this year, and I think she's doing a pretty good job. She's giving the Hurricanes 7 points, 88% from the free throw line. She's starting to hit 3-pointers, she's shooting 33% from 3, and she's hitting a 3 per game. She runs the floor pretty well, and I think she can help them out on the fast break and in terms of catch and shooting. Next pick will be made by the Seattle Storm. Now, the team already solid defensively, but let's see how we can add to that with this pick. And with the 34th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Seattle Storm select Anastasiia Boldyreva, Middle Tennessee. Anastasiia Boldyreva was on our top 10 juniors to seniors list part 2, so she's been on our radar for a little while, and I've been really paying attention to how she's been playing this year. I really wanted to put her in the second round coming into this year because she was shooting 47% from 3 as a 6'6" player, but she came down to earth, and in her senior year she's shooting under 20%. But she's a hell of a shot blocker. She averaged 3 blocks her junior year, and she's averaging 4 blocks in her senior year to go along with 14.5 points and 10 rebounds. Her moves in the post game, you can tell, are very natural as well. She gonna need to get a little bit stronger if she want to get those shots off, but she do got the foundation to at least get some buckets. And what you can't teach is 6'6" and shot blocking. She already got that down pat. Before we get to the next pick, I got a quick question for y'all. Looking at the draft board that I put together, of all these players here, who do you think has the best chance to make it in the WNBA? Even if they don't get drafted, who do y'all think got the best chance? Now let's keep this train moving. Next pick will be made by the Las Vegas Aces. After losing Plum Dog, I think they need to get another dog up in that locker room to replace that. Now let's see what we got here at number 35. And with the 35th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Las Vegas Aces select Aaliyah Moore, Texas. Aaliyah Moore would be the 3rd Texas player that I have getting drafted behind Roy Harmon and Taylor Jones. And Aaliyah Moore, she one of those gritty, grimy players that I was talking about when I was mentioning Sarah Ashley Barker and Sophie Cunningham. That's something that you can't teach, players that don't back down. I think you put her behind A'ja Wilson and it can only make her a whole lot better. This Aces team is already really good. They don't need to be trying to knock nothing out the park. They really need to just focus on trying to get the chemistry together with the players they have now. Anything else they getting from the bench is a plus. Next pick will be made by the Atlanta Dream. We had them taking Zay Green in the 2nd round. Now let's see what we got here at number 36. And with the 36th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Atlanta Dream select Ajsa Sivka, Slovenia. Similar to what they did last year when they drafted Natalija Marshall in the 1st round, who still hasn't come over yet, I think they'll take Ajsa Sivka if she hasn't been drafted already. That way they can stash her away for a year and then bring her in with Natalija Marshall maybe next year or the year after. As far as Ajsa Sivka, she's definitely a pure shooter, stretch 4, stretch 5. I think that's exactly where the WNBA will be within the next 2 to 3 years. We will still have some traditional bigs, but to compete, I think you now need bigs that can stretch it out like Breanna Stewart, A'ja Wilson. You need those archetypes on your roster or your team gonna just get killed. Next pick will be made by the Minnesota Lynx. And this team already has some really nice young talent. Elisa Pilley, Diamond Miller, Dorka Juhas, and Nafisa Collier is only 28. So I really like this team. Let's see who we got here at number 37. And with the 37th pick in the 2025 WNBA draft, the Minnesota Lynx select Olivia Cochran, Louisville. Olivia Cochran has been underrated on this team for a very long time. Since she's been at Louisville since 2020, she's played with players like Dana Evans, Haley Van Lith, Liz Dixon, Kiana Smith, Emily Inksler, all players that have played or will play in the WNBA. She's a really good defender. She's finished top 5 in defensive rating and defensive win shares. She's another one of those tough, gritty, grimy players that I was talking about. And one thing she can always hang her hat on, she is first in ACC history in personal fouls. You won't get nothing easy on her. It don't matter if you're bigger or smaller, she gonna make it tough on you. Last pick in the draft will be made by the team that's defending the 2024 championship, the New York Liberty. They don't need much help, but it's still a lot of talent left. So let's get to the pick. And with the final pick of the 2025 WNBA draft, the New York Liberty with the 38th pick select Gianna Kneepkens, Utah. Gianna Kneepkens is very similar to Sabrina Ionescu, where she can just shoot the hell out of the basketball from anywhere on the court. I don't think she can shoot it from as deep as Sabrina Ionescu can, but she can shoot it probably at a higher percentage if she out there just catching and shooting. Sabrina, they rely on her to do a whole lot of playmaking, but I think Gianna playing behind Sabrina Ionescu, she can learn those abilities to playmake, because she's not really good at getting her own shot, but I think the skill set is there, they just need to bring it out of her. But there you have it, another episode of Chic and Ball. Have a final look at our third round mock draft selections. This year, South Carolina, Notre Dame, TCU, Alabama, and Texas led our mock draft power rankings with 3 players on each team being selected. You can go wrong anywhere in the draft, but nobody gonna blame you for drafting a player out of one of those schools. So when in doubt, go that route. Go to the top school. If you made it this far in the show, please hit that like button, leave a comment, let us know how y'all feeling about the show. If there's anywhere where y'all think I can improve, please let me know, because I'm trying to take this show farther than just being on YouTube. But I love y'all, I appreciate y'all. Thank you everybody for listening and watching. I'm Els for PRNM. Talk to you on the next one.